Here are my most anticipated February book releases. Let's go. Hi, my name is Rhea. Welcome to Reading with Rhea. I am a book content creator here on BookTube. If I look familiar to you, you've probably hung out with me over on Book Talk. We have about 15,000 people every week who tune in to do reading sprints with me live, and we have a great time over on that platform. For the purpose of today's video, today we are going to be filling your TBR all the way up to the top because we have some fantastic brand new books coming out in the month of February. Cannot wait to get into these ones. We're going to start off strong with my most anticipated book release of February, which is going to be The Charlie Method. I have wanted to read The Charlie Method since the day I finished The Dixon Rule, and I finished that book in one sitting on the day it came out. I cannot wait for Will, Beckett, and Charlie's story. Kennedy is a master at crafting hockey romance that is not only action-packed, but full of characters to absolutely 100% fall head over heels in love with. The Dixon Rule was one of my favorite books that she has ever written. The Charlie Method, I am so excited to say, is going to be Will and Beckett's story. Will was one of my favorite characters in both The Graham Effect and The Dixon Rule, so I cannot wait for his book. Cannot wait. Make sure if you are a new adult reader that this one is at the very top of your TBR. My husband's most anticipated book release for February is going to be Scythe and Sparrow. This is the third book in the Butcher and Blackbird trilogy. If you have not yet read Butcher and Blackbird and you are over the age of 18, I don't understand. If you have been wanting to get into dark romance, even if you don't think you have been wanting to get into dark romance, this is an absolute must read. The trigger warning page alone will make you want to read this book. It is dark humor, it is funny, the situations are absolutely unhinged, the humor in this book is unparalleled. I have never read a book that has made me laugh this hard. To the point of, I was like, dear husband, please read this. And he was like, but I'm not a dark romance reader. You might just be. This book will convert you into being a dark romance reader. It is an awesome entry level. Number one, they are talking about turning it into a TV show / movie. So we're kind of going to wait and see where that goes, which is super exciting because an adaptation of Butcher and Blackbird would be absolutely incredible. Scythe and Sparrow is the third book following Our Very Last Brother. I cannot wait to see what disgusting things are going to happen with food. Cookies and cream, ice cream, and pizza are already arguably ruined for most people, but let's see what Bryn Weaver has in store. Finished the One Dark Window duology. I've been wanting to pick up another grimdark romantasy, and I finally found one that I want to do next. The Beasts We Bury. This is a YA, young adult, grimdark romantasy with a heist plot. Could you ask for more? If you liked Six of Crows, if you liked One Dark Window, if you liked Powerless, this one should probably be on your TBR for coming up. I have it on my wish list. I've got it reserved at the library. I'm hopeful it comes out on Kindle Unlimited. Whichever format reaches me first, that is the way I will be consuming this book. My husband read Heartless Hunter last year and he gave it 4 stars. The next book, Rebel Witch, is coming out this month. Barnes & Noble does have their very own exclusive edition of this book. So if you loved Heartless Hunter and you've just been anticipating this next book to come out, I highly recommend checking out their exclusive edition. It is absolutely breathtaking. Heartless Hunter is a young adult romantasy. It is full of enemies to lovers, all the angst and banter that you would typically expect. So make sure if you have not yet read the first book that you add that one to your TBR, and if you are anxiously awaiting book 2, Rebel Witch will be in your hands soon. Katie Roberts has a brand new book coming out called Wicked Pursuit. This is going to be a dark romance, cat and mouse kind of style game with lots and lots of spice. So if you are a person who loves all spice, very little plot, Katie Roberts is probably already on your radar. I've heard from quite a few of the ARC readers that this one is incredible when it comes to the spice. So if that is what you like to read, make sure that you add this one to the list. What's better than having The Little Mermaid? Having Little Mermaid and Cinderella in the exact same book. Once Upon a Starlit Tide is going to take those two classic fairy tales and kind of merge them together into one historical romance book. More like historical romantasy. And what is better than mermaids and sirens taking the center stage? It is so rare to find a fantasy novel that truly focuses on that siren mermaid lore, and to have another one coming up in February just sounds absolutely fantastic. I have done mermaids on the horror spectrum with like In the Drowning Deep, but this one is going to lean more on that historical romance side, and I actually think that's going to be very atmospheric and really cool, maybe a little bit on the grittier side with having that Cinderella element in there. So we'll just have to wait and see, but this one is definitely on my radar. Very excited. If you've been looking for your next cozy fantasy, Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales is the third book in the series. First book was Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. It follows a grad student who is going out on an epic adventure to study fairies and other small creatures. It's just full of folklore. It's got rivals to lovers. It has everything you'd want in a fairy, fae type world, and it's just the perfect book to curl up in front of the fireplace, get nice and cozy with a cup of hot chocolate, and read. Allie Hazelwood has a new adult romance coming out this month called Deep End. Deep End is going to be following a college team like diver and the swim team captain. It is called Rivals to Lovers. I'm so excited. Just the cover of this book is giving tons of steam for Valentine's Day, and there's nothing I love more than new adult romance with a ton of banter. Everybody is on a different spot in their reading journey. I personally have been a reader for over 16 years now. Doesn't that age me a bit? I started reading at 15, really got into it at 16, never stopped. These are some books that came out in February in years past, 7 years or more past. But if you are newer to reading, these may not have even been on your radar, and they absolutely should be. So let's just make sure. Are these ones you've read, or are these ones that you might have accidentally missed? First up, we have Rush by Maya Banks. You've read, watched the movies, loved 50 Shades of Grey. Have you read Maya Banks? She is a phenomenal author. She doesn't really have a ton of new releases coming out anymore, but way back in my day when I started reading, she had new books coming out like every 6 months. And one of my favorites by her was Rush. So if you enjoyed, you know, the erotica, 50 Shades of Grey, lots of action, lots of spice, that age range, those types of tropes, you've got to pick up Maya Banks. And this one was exceptional. You are a grumpy sunshine reader. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me had best be on your TBR, or you've probably already read it. The Wall of Winnipeg is a football romance. It is slow burn. The angst and the banter in this book are fantastic. It just, oh, the feels. I can't even put into words how much I love Aidan Graves. He is so just salty. He's just grumpy. He's just super gruff. You just want to be like, come on, dude, crack a smile. And this book is phenomenal. It is so funny. The main character is excellent. This is one that if you are interested in trying out Mariana Zapata as an author, this is definitely the one that I recommend people start with as far as her books go. Wall of Winnipeg, we are following a football star, Aidan Graves, and his assistant. And he ends up being so grumpy, the assistant leaves. And need I mind you, the assistant is our main character. So we say, peace out, Aiden, and we stomp off on our merry little way, but who should come running back but Aiden Graves? And he goes, I want you to work for me. And she goes, no dice, you're a meanie pants. And he goes, I'll pay off all your student loans and buy you a house. We reconsider that renegotiation real quick. This is a slow burn, fantastic read. I love this book with my whole heart. I will absolutely be rereading it again come fall. This is one that I love to pick up during football season, but if you haven't read it yet, it also will hit very well for Valentine's Day. If you are a thriller reader and you are obsessed with Frida McFadden or B.A. Paris, might I suggest picking up Lisa Gardner. Lisa Gardner has been a staple in the thriller genre for years. Her books really border the line between thriller and horror. They are following mostly a detective named Dee Dee Warren, if you are reading that particular series, and she is solving crime. If you like Criminal Minds, like, this is definitely the series for you. Every single character of Criminal Minds can be found in the Dee Dee Warren series, especially like our main character reminds me so much of JJ. So if you love Criminal Minds, you have to read Lisa Gardner. But there is a particular book in the series. They are all interconnected standalones. You can read them in whatever order. It doesn't really matter. But there is one book in particular called Find Her. We are following a character named Flora Dane. And Flora Dane is one of my absolute favorite fictional characters of all time ever. She is right up there with Man in Blackbeak. I absolutely love Flora Dane. She is a survivor. She is gritty. She is fantastic. And let me tell you what Homegirl likes to do. Flora likes to get kidnapped to catch kidnappers. She will purposely put herself in situations to get kidnapped to take down the kidnapper. And sometimes she doesn't win. And Flora is just phenomenal. She is Valkyrie, like through and through, in human form with no fantasy needed. And if this sounds like a really good book, just know the next two in the series also follow Flora Dane's character. So you get not one book, but 3 books following this character. And sometimes she makes cameos later on in the series as well. She's just one of my absolute favorites. We started our recommendations with the Charlie Method. It only makes logical sense to end it with The Deal. The Deal by Elle Kennedy is the first book in the Off-Campus series. This is the book that started it all, and wouldn't you know, it was also a February release. This book follows Graham and Hannah. Hannah is a music student and Graham is a college hockey player, and they really aren't supposed to be a couple, but it just kind of happens. Graham is failing all of his classes and desperately needs a tutor. He needs somebody who's actually good at school. And he ends up having to get tutored with Hannah, and they keep ending up in situations together, and eventually sparks fly. And I mean, it's a new adult romance novel. What's a girl to do? This book is really good. What I love the most about The Deal is how you get to meet all the other characters that are in the hockey team. And she's really good at placing Easter eggs, so you kind of know or start getting suspicious of like which characters are going to end up together. The humor in this book is absolutely amazing. You are going to love Hannah. You are going to love her roommate, Allie. At least I did. And the group of hockey players is just absolutely spectacular. Honestly, if you want to try new adult, if you are looking to start an entry-level hockey romance series, this is absolutely the place to start. Did I miss your most anticipated book for February? Please let me know. Drop it in the comments so that I can make sure to add it onto my radar. Otherwise, please like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Please feel free to join our book club. All the links for that are in my profile. If you would like to do reading sprints with us, we do those over on Book Talk 5 nights a week. Happy reading, everybody.